Y'all ready? Yeah, everybody ready?
There we go, sir.
Board of County Commissioners now in session. We'll begin with prayer followed by the pledge. Please join us. Commissioner Jones, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you today for this time you've given us together. God, we thank you for this place we call home. God, we ask for knowledge, wisdom, and prudence today to lead us and guide us. We thank you for the opportunity in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next would be approval of the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Sanders. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next will be the payment of county bills.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Lockley, second by Commissioner Jones. Any questions on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries also. Next will be Mr. Fonda Davis, Solid Waste Director. Okay, Howard's here. Okay. Come forward, Mark. Mr. Howard. Your computer's tore up, so he didn't submit a report this morning, but he is here.
Yeah, I ain't got that foot forward this time.
Anybody have anything for Mr. Howard?
Which one thing, the lighting, the reason the thing in, I don't know, he emailed you a lot about the lighting and stuff, truck, mess our computers and stuff up, cameras, so we have to replace all that. But I do have what you have to make sure. Actually, a couple of things, just to get these pictures.
All right, you talk about Duval Road first?
Yeah, this is the road which we took pictures of Duval where they logged, I think it was a crew out of Perry. And we got like 40 different places on that road that tore up pretty bad, which I got some pictures that I took yesterday, the road, so we fixed it.
Well, we may have to put a weight limit on that road like we do on McIntyre. It's beginning to be a problem, although nobody lives out in the Duval area. It does go to, people's houses.
Yes, ma'am, and a lot of cars travel through there too also, so.
So, I tell you what we need to do with Duval Road, let's get with the attorney, Mr. Shooter, I'm gonna, direct you to, look at possibly doing a weight limit like we did for McIntyre Road.
Yes,
For the
ma'am.
Duval Road, because that is an ongoing problem. And if you don't mind, I'll put it in form of a motion for you to come back to the next meeting and with something that we can propose and do a motion on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? Looking at the photos, it is pretty bad, and a normal car wouldn't be able to travel that road, so I see from the pictures exactly.
We done some work to that before we took the pictures too, it wasn't the worse than that, though.
Yeah.
Deep rut, so,
We have to keep the roads passable
yeah.
for the people of the community. Any further discussion on this issue? We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries.
Commissioners, item number 16 on my report. Inform the board that the city of Apalachicola has submitted a permit to do some work on Bluff Road. Attached is a copy of the permit for your review. Are there any additional concerns the board would like staff to address before the permit is issued or considered?
Have they applied for the permit, Michael?
Yes, the office received the permit yesterday. If you go to your bookmark section and go where it says CC 16, that is the permit, and a drawing is right after that as to what they want to do. It's mostly boring, but there's a part that they want to actually cut the pavement, keeping in mind that the board recently paved Bluff Road.
What was the number we go to?
I'm sorry, where it says CC 16.
16, okay.
Y'all got the permit? And then the drawing, if you scroll down the drawing is right after the permit.
Okay, so that area that they're wanting to cut is outside the travel lanes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't really have an issue with it as long as it's outside those travel lanes, but we just spent a couple $1 million fixing that road, so I didn't want the travel lanes cut at all. And what they're showing here, they're not gonna cut the travel lane. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, but I'd recommend that you allow me to forward this to Clay at Pebble Ridge. Let him work with the city, since he's our engineer, and let him make sure that it's done correctly in the way that the ordinance addresses as to the repair should be done.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to do that, for this to be turned over to Clay
Kennedy.
Smallwood with
I'm
Purple
sorry,
Ridge,
Smallwood.
and come back with a recommendation to staff so they can proceed.
Second.
we have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries.
Oh, look, Chairman, I got some. How about in the future, when we having these paving projects, let's send a letter to the cities, both cities, saying, we paving roads, if they got to put down pipe, let them put them down before, and we wouldn't have any problem, because it ought to be, they got a future plan, and we have a future plan. And if they need pipes and they see paving gonna be done, we got to be on the same page, and this wouldn't be occurring. It costs too much money to pave these roads, and then as soon as you get them paved, they wanna cut them, and they'll never be fixed back right. So I'm gonna put that in form of motion.
I will.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion?
Yeah, one more thing. In accordance with the building, that permit application to cut the roads, there are two things. There's a letter of credit and a $50 fee. Are we going to charge the city the $50 fee? And are we going to, well, let me ask Attorney Schuler, do we need the credit, letter of credit from the city?
Well, the letter of credit actually is under the 2011 ordinance, which doesn't apply to the city, but the application otherwise is the same. Your 1982 ordinance is what governs this particular circumstance, and you have the discretion to require a bond, essentially. You can do it as a cash bond, or you can waive a bond in the amount that perhaps Purple Ridge could help staff come up with in case the county has to expend any dollars to correctly fix the road after the work is done. So I say let's wait for the engineer first, and then let Michael Merle make a decision as to whether or not to require the cash bond or not.
Okay. But I still have the $50 fee
And
then.
then I think there was some indication from the board not to waive that, but
Okay. That's it.
Pleasure on the board on the $50 fee.
I'd say they need to pay it.
Okay, so that's pretty much standard.
Yeah.
Michael, from here forward, everybody will pay, whether it's the cities, whether it's individual, whatever. Alan, you had something to add?
I'm gonna do something separate with Howard for the second can.
Okay, is that the only thing you got to deal with Mr. Howard with?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I thought while Howard was here and Representative Alligator Point here, I would just briefly go through part of the issue. We're gonna talk about Alligator Point several times today, but I thought we'd do the section of the report where we'll describe what the road department's gonna do to make the main Alligator Road more able to be traversed, 2 lanes. So I have a map here, I thought I'd just put up to show everybody what the road department's gonna be doing while we wait for FEMA to finish their process. So, and Howard, can you just hold on. Okay, so as you all know, coming on to Alligator Point Road, we come in here at the intersection of Tom Roberts there. So we'll walk through this and show you, we met on site, Howard, I, and several representatives after met on site.
Alan, why don't you bring it right over here where the microphone
Okay, I'm
is,
sorry.
and just sit it up there where everybody
Okay.
can see it.
Okay, all right, can everybody see it? Okay, so we met on site, I forget exactly what day, Paul Parker was there, it was someday last week, and Eddie Sosby, he's here, also organized a meeting for us. So to go through the site, as everybody knows, I want to make sure it's clear, this is going to become the permanent route. I mean, it has been a temporary route as long as this was open, but this road down here is never going to be rebuilt as a road. I mean, we had a final definitive answer from FEMA that, we're going to get a bike path down here, we're going to get the area cleaned up, but that's not going to be the road anymore. The road is going to be this route. This is just the life of the future of Alligator. So there's some critical points which are difficult to go through right now. We recognize that. The first difficult point is this intersection right here. It's a very sharp turn. The telephone company has already moved the telephone pole a while ago. The pedestal is there. I contacted Fairpoint yesterday. They should be out there today or tomorrow to address to move the pedestal. The pedestal is right in the corner there. Once the pedestal's out of the way, then because the Alligator Point Water District owns a section of land there, we will have the ability to straighten out this curve to some degree. I can't tell you how much right now,
but we are going to straighten that curve out so it's not as severe as it is now. We'll have access across the water district's property there to make that curve a little easier. We will make it hopefully so it's 2-lane, and there's a little pull-off here that, we're going to put no parking signs so people who are trying to fish there won't park there, because that's one of the staging areas right now for people to see around the corner. So the first step is to straighten out that curve. I'm going to get to the traffic control device in a minute, but let me just walk through this whole thing. So straighten out that curve there. Coming through Tom Roberts, it's all paved, it's in pretty good shape. We know that there's a collapsing inlet right here. It has nothing to do with the road, but we know that's collapsing. The road department's going to saw cut the sidewalk there and look down and see what's going on with that inlet, so we don't undermine the road, but we're aware that there's a big problem there with that inlet that the contractor put in. Coming on up here, we know this is another bad intersection. We are going to cut all the trees down, palm trees, vegetation here, so that you can see around this corner. So we're going to make it more visible. The other thing we're going to do, even though it looks like it's 2-lane here, in fact, when you're out there, it's not 2-lane. The county owns the right-of-way here on the north, so we are going to make this a 2-lane sweep here. Right now, because of the angle, it's only 1 lane, but we'll put lime rock down and perhaps some milled asphalt so it looks like a paved surface. But this will become a 2-lane road, so you'll be able to sweep through here without having to stop and negotiate. We have room within our right-of-way to make that a much easier curve. We're going to change the stop signs out there. So these people are going to stop. So this is going to come the thoroughfare. And people trying to go to Harbor Circle will have a double stop sign. They'll have 2 stop signs on both sides, warning them as best we can to stop at this intersection. The traffic otherwise coming this way will have the right-of-way. All right, so we come through this intersection, we'll clear the vegetation, put a stop sign here to stop Harbor Circle. Coming on down here, this intersection is pretty clear. There's not much to be done. We're going to put stop signs here because people are coming down here where there's asphalt, and then because there's no stop sign here, they're either backing up or they're turning around and driving back, when they're through, as if they have the right-of-way. So there'll be a stop sign here to warn people that you're needing to stop because this is the road that has the right-of-way. All right, so a stop sign there. The stop signs that are currently in place, and I forget exactly where they are, they might be here, I think they're here and here. Because the fire department's there, we're going to leave those stop signs in place, just for safety precautions for whenever the fire department may be active. We want people to slow down and stop here. So that even though that's kind of a non-essential intersection, it has a stop sign now, it has a stop bar across the asphalt, we're going to leave that there. It helps sort of control traffic in front of the fire department. So you'll have flow of traffic to this point, stop sign here, come down here, there's another stop sign where you turn back on Island on the main road. We are going to put lime rock down here on that section of the road that has washed out, because this again is a section of road that is 1 lane through the erosion of about 3 or 4 feet of the asphalt in the driving lane. So we'll put lime rock down there and make that 2-lane. So when we're done, this is all going to be in-house with the road department. You will have a 2-lane road all the way through here. That's going to ease up some of the traffic congestion we're currently having now. The one thing that we need that I've already contacted DOT, and I know they're here today, and they may not have the answer because I talked to Mark Thomas yesterday, and I'm waiting for him to get back with me. But what we recognize we need are two traffic control devices. And they are off the map, so to speak, but the section of road from here going west, or going east of George Voss, that 1,000-foot road is 1 lane, and it's going to be 1 lane for a while. And as long as you all are residents down there, and only the residents using the road, it was acceptable. I won't say it was pleasant, but you all were pretty well good about recognizing someone coming. You would wait, and But as we get tourist season going in there, people are getting ramped up and they want to get to the beach. So we recognize we have to have more traffic control down there. I contacted Acme Sign Company, believe it or not, which is the name of the sign company which provides most of the signs in North Florida, and they have these portable traffic control devices. They're remote controlled. You have a green, red, red, green, yellow sign here and one at the other end, and there would have been a timer. I don't know if it'd be a 2-minute delay or whatever delay. We'd have to work that out. But we would control the traffic with remote traffic control devices, so people would stack up here just like at an intersection, and it would be automated, 24 hours a day to control the traffic flow there. The problem is, 1 traffic control device is $3,000 a month rent. 2 is $6,000 a month rent. Until we have a contractor under contract, when it becomes his problem, right now that $6,000 a month for 2 traffic control devices is our problem. That might last for 6 months. I mean, we might be negotiating with FEMA, getting the design done, getting the FEMA permit, getting the DEP permit. That might take 6 months. Well, that's $72,000, for which there isn't any adequate, there isn't a known source of money to pay $72,000. I called Mark Thomas. DOT used to have these remote traffic control devices in their yard. He said they cut back on some of their maintenance devices, so he's not sure what's available. I'm waiting for a phone call, hopefully today, and maybe some of you all with DOT can assist in getting a faster answer, because we need to get those down there pretty quickly when the spring break crowds check in. We need to make sure that we have adequate traffic control down there. So that's the big unknown that we're working on now. As soon as we got the road under contract to make permanent repairs, then it'll be the contractor's responsibility and his cost, or her cost, to maintain those things. But until we have a contractor down there, it's a county road, and I won't get into, it'll ever be a state road, we'll do that in a few minutes. But right now, it's a county road, and right now, it's a county problem. So, because there's an unknown cost, I did talk to the people at APTA at the meeting that we will not, for the time being, we will not pave that section of road. And that was about $15,000 of asphalt, and admittedly, will be torn up when we're doing the permanent repair, and that money may be necessary to help pay for these traffic control devices. We just have a limited amount of money, ladies and gentlemen, and we just have to be cognizant of what the best use of that money is. So for the time being, the Lime Rock Road down there is in pretty good shape, and so we're going to sort of see how that holds up. We can always pave it if we have to, but we need to observe what funds we have, and that we have to go out and release some traffic control devices down there. So I just want to tell now while Howard's here, that's what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks to make this a 2-lane road all the way through there, and hopefully it will ease up the traffic flow in a couple of those tight spots. And we'll get to the other part of the discussion when DOT stands up.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Field, on that $76,000 or $6,000 a month, is that reversible by FEMA?
The problem is, and Pam and I just talked about it briefly, we don't think so because it's not a permanent repair, so we can't necessarily add it to our cost because it's a device that the contractor can add to when we get on the contract, but it's not necessarily part of a temporary solution either because it's not during that emergency response period. So I'm not sure, we're going to check, but it's this window, we've never had this situation before, so I don't have a definitive answer. We're going to have to get FEMA some assistance, whether they'll say yes or no. I mean, that's where I'd like to go first, but I don't have an answer for that.
Well, wouldn't that be a cause to tell them to speed up the process?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, what I told Alan was that if we're not spending $15,000 on asphalt down there, that we can take, and if we can through the paving project, that's what we're doing, is take and allocate that money toward those traffic common devices and see what we can do and try to get something started, because you're fixing to start into the spring breakers, and we've got to do something. I talked to the sheriff this morning. He called me, and he asked me if I was behind him on the parking issue down there at Alligator Point, and I told him 100%. So we're going to take care of that also. And
Yeah, I mean, it may all play together. Now, we certainly need the traffic control devices anyway, but, as you all may know, the sheriff was down there last week and issued some citations. I believe starting next week, I won't say for sure because it's the sheriff's call, he will start,
this weekend,
he's going to tow it. And if the word gets back to Tallahassee that cars are being towed, you may not have as much traffic down there. I mean, we'll see how that goes. Or you may have traffic one way with a tow truck. But that's the improvements that Howard and the road department are making. They did a great job. In case you haven't been to Gulf Shore Boulevard and gone down Allen Lane, there's a nice little road down there. They did a great job of building that road. So if you want to see the quality work they can do, you can drive over there and look at it.
and Alan, what's the name of the road?
It's Allen Lane.
That's right.
Thank you, Howard.
Did we ever vote on the last motion?
The recording clerk says she's not sure we got a motion,
That's
a
correct.
vote on the, on Commissioner Lockley's.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
We got sidetracked there.
I'm sorry.
Hang on just a second, Howard. We do have a motion and a second on the floor. On Commissioner Lockley's motion. All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries. Okay, Howard, any other commissioners have anything for Mr. Howard?
Thank you, Howard, for what you do.
Thank you, Howard. Next would be Mr. Fonda Davis, Solid Waste Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have one item on the agenda that's going to need board's action. It's attached to your report there. So for board's action, the attached letter is from Waste Management requesting a rate increase for the Franklin County Transfer Station. Under the current contract, Both parties must approve the rate adjustment based on the percentage change in the consumer price index, water, sewer, and trash. The adjustment they propose is an increase of 3.58%. The current rate is $60.52 per ton, and the proposed rate will be $62.69 per ton, an increase of $2.17 per ton. So I just need board's action to deny or approve.
Didn't they just go up last year?
That's correct, Commissioner.
They did go up last?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought they did. I know they came here and talked to us. I couldn't remember if we did or not.
This is based on the this year's consumer price index?
Yes.
So as the index goes up, then they come back to us for a rate increase.
Right.
And all increases must be approved or disapproved by the board.
Well, and the question you have to ask is, do we have that many people knocking down our door wanting the transfer station? You know, so Fonda, you can answer that question. We don't, do we?
No, ma'am.
And that's what I'm saying. So, this is a proposed increase that's gonna be passed on to the customer. Am I right on that?
That's correct, yes, and also the contract will be up in next year, in 18. So that's something, they've been trying to get the county to take over that transfer station. And, that's another thing we need to be talking about.
But it don't sound like we have much of a choice this year. I mean, you can deny the request, but that's, I believe that's a pleasure of the board, but what is the recourse if we don't approve this increase?
Next time they say they don't want to operate transfer station.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just pushing to want to get rid of it.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jones
Second.
to approve the rate increase, second by Commissioner Sanders. Any further discussion by the board? Being no further discussion, all those in favor? All opposed?
I oppose.
The record reflect Commissioner Lockley opposing. Motion is approved. Anything else, Mr. Davis?
Yeah. Just for your information, the Lanark Village will be holding their sixth annual neighborhood cleanup. It's on March the 4th, and county is supporting them in that by providing dumpsters, gloves, and trash bags.
And I appreciate you doing that for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's a good service right there.
Right.
They have some good people, John Mady and all those people are very hard at trying to keep the village clean, so I appreciate
Yes.
that.
John will get it.
Yeah.
Anything further from the board from Mr. Davis? Thank you, Fonda.
Okay. Thank you all.
Next will be Ms. Pam Brunel with Emergency Management.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have one action item. It's the opening of the, my glasses in here. RFPs for the residential wind mitigation projects. We only had 2 contractors, and we pushed this out everywhere. We got the list for our county contractors, and
Bids in here? This is not, these are just.
that's just bids on the 11 houses that we have.
need to write the numbers down.
Yeah. We advertised it in Tallahassee. We sent it to Small Business Association. Trish emailed out our local contractors that she got the list from. We had some of them come in and get the bid packages. These are the same 2 contractors. One of them is a shutter, because we did say you could separate out the shutters. That was the only thing you could bid separately. We didn't want to piece and part these houses out. It's too much for us to keep up with. Some people just want to put doors on. You either bid the whole house or nothing. So it's the same contractors that we had last year, the only two that submitted bids.
All right, so you have Florida retrofits and hurricane shutters. Florida retrofits, for some reason, Pam sent two
No.
packages, it says one of, two of two, so I'm
It's
not sure.
probably two packets, probably, or the 11 houses. There's 11 houses that were bid on.
All right, so that's what's over.
And again, once we get these, we turn these bids back into the state, and then the state actually determines that they go back and look at our cost-benefit analysis, and they determine actually which of these 11 houses, if all of them or just part of them, actually make the cut to get work done.
So these are different houses.
There's 11, there should be 11 houses, I believe, in there, Alan.
So how do you, I mean, how you plan to read, so we have 11 different bid numbers on 11 different houses, but we only have, I didn't, not crazy.
So basically, we just need the bottom line.
Well,
Bottom line is
I'm
being
getting
contract.
confused because is there a bottom line, is there some total, Pam, 'cause these are,
Yes, lump sum bid right here, last page.
yeah, for that one, but each one has that same deal. So don't tell me this next one is going to be different.
Here's the original, here's the copy.
Right, but the form they have there doesn't have room for these different
So what we really need is the bottom line for all 11 houses. What's the total cost?
numbers. We're going to add them up.
Okay.
Because we can,
Y'all want to go in the back and take care of that, Alan?
Yeah.
We'll move forward with some of this other stuff,
Yeah.
and we'll come back.
Let me open the other one because it's a much smaller
Yeah,
one, so they
okay.
they might have done something different.
Okay.
no, his is gonna be the same, I can just
How
about tell
come
you.
there's not as much paperwork if there's 11 bids in there?
It don't look like it's the same, does it?
Because he just did shutters. This is the shutter guy. He strictly just bid on the shutters, which he could. Now, he may have done his as a lump sum.
No, he didn't. Okay, I see. So there really isn't any, there's nothing to be bid then? There's nothing to be negotiated because
No.
you have one bidder on house construction?
Yes, and one
bidder
on
shutters
structure.
alone.
And these are the only two contractors that
So-
bid.
And it's gonna be turned over to back to the state.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there is no competition, there's no,
No,
either we turn these over and see if the state will accept this contractor in Florida retrofit for the housing improvements and this contractor for the shutter improvements.
Okay.
and the main thing is, the state will look at it, and we only have so much of our pot of money that they gave us, which you, again, so we can't go over that. They already know this. And then, we'll, as soon as the state gets back to us, we'll start to work on trying to get these houses up, because they need to be finished by May.
Okay.
And then we've also applied for our next grant. Hopefully, we'll get another one. We're gonna chip away at it every year until they tell us that they gave Franklin County all they're gonna give us.
So basically, we just open the RFP, and
Yeah.
here it goes
Yes,
back
sir.
to the state.
This will all go back to the state.
Okay.
Florida retrofit bid on all the houses.
He bid on all the construction on the houses. He just bid on the shutters. Same houses, just the shutters.
How much money was available total, do you remember?
I think it was 194,000. We got less this year than we did the year before. Also, while I have the board here, last year when we did this, the county waived the permit fees. That way we could keep that money in the pot to put towards the houses, because we don't even take a administrative fee out of this, because we try to keep as much of it as possible so we can put back into the homes. What's the pleasure of the board this year?
And waiving the permit fee for all these different houses. Pleasure of the board.
Yeah, we've been doing it. Keep that money in there.
We have a motion.
Make a motion.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey. Do we have a second to waive the permit fee?
Yeah, second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion?
I ain't gonna vote on it. Conflict.
Mr. Lockley's declaring a conflict, so he will not be voting on this issue. You have to get the proper form for him to fill out. Okay. Any other discussion by the board?
Let me ask you one question. So what happens if so we don't know yet whether we have enough money to do all 11 houses or not?
And I haven't looked at the bid, but the state will take a look at them.
Okay, so who will make the decision, who doesn't get funded?
The state,
Okay. But I'm looking here now, just going through this sample, some bids for some houses were $7,000, but one of them was $27,000.
The
If they're
state-
all average around 10, you'd think it'd be okay, but if they're all averaging 25, you're running out of money.
the state determines which ones, like I said, they do the cost benefit analysis, and then
Bring
they
it
actually
into
tell us
budget.
which houses that we can fix and which
They'll
ones we
bring it
can't.
into budget, basically.
Yes, sir. I mean, we know how much we have to spend, so they'll basically go through and say, this one you can do, or they'll look at it and say, you know, I hate it, but cost benefit analysis doesn't work out for that house.
Any further discussion by the board? We do have a motion and a second to waive the permit fee. All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries.